All right. Shalom, Israel, where the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And we're not affiliated with any of the Israelite group nor any other Christian organization. So tonight's class is the Brotherhood class. And tonight we're going to be talking about family because family is something very important within the Black, Latino, and Native American community. We have a problem within our families because we don't even know about the family structure. The reason why our families are those destroyed and the reason why our families are damn near tarnished and completely diminished is because we don't really know what family is about. We decided to do our own thing and to go our own route and make up our own things and based off things how we feel and based off of things on how we think in order a family is supposed to be. There was a specific way how to run a family according to the Lord. There was a way to establish and to set order to a family according to the Most High. We were never supposed to take upon ourselves to build up a family what we think is right. We were never supposed to build up a family the way it was on how we feel is right. Thinking and feeling got us, feeling and thinking got our families destroyed. Feeling and thinking took and tore down the Black family structure, the Latino family structure, and the Native American family structure. And that's something so important to realize and understand. We go through so much problems and we go through so much situations and we put ourselves through so much danger because we are not establishing the Black family or the Latino or Native American family the way the Lord wants us to establish these families. The Lord wants us to establish our families a certain way. The Lord wants us to realize how important family is within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. The Israel, Yasha Allah in the Hebrew, the Prince of Power, we are a family. We are a family-oriented people. Once we go outside of the family structure that the Lord put in place and established, it destroys us. It completely tarnishes us. We are completely trampled, and we go through so much danger because of so. And so I always ask these questions during the Brotherhood class. And for time's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm go ahead and ask them and get them out the way because there's a foundation of brotherhood. There's a core foundation of what brotherhood is about. And so now my first question is, what is synonymous to brotherhood? What is the same and what is synonymous to brotherhood? Anybody tell me? What is synonymous to brotherhood? What is the same as brotherhood? Because tonight's class is the brotherhood class, right? So we're going to have to know this information. We're going to have to realize and understand this information right here. What is brotherhood? You understand? Well, not what is brotherhood, it's like it. What is synonymous and the same as brotherhood? If we don't know what's the same and what's synonymous to brotherhood, we're not going to be able to get any further in life than we already are. If we don't realize what's synonymous and the same as brotherhood, we're going to be at a stumbling block and we're going to be at a that is a stumbling block, and we're going to be at a standstill, all right, or at a stalemate because we can't go any further because we don't know what's the same and synonymous to brotherhood. Give the young man a hand, give that brother a hand, sister, that is correct. Sisterhood, give the sister a hand too as well. She just answered. Sisterhood is synonymous in the same as brotherhood. You cannot have sisterhood without brotherhood. You cannot have brotherhood without sisterhood. If we can't get past that point that brotherhood and sisterhood are the same and they're synonymous with each other, then we're just going to be stuck. We're not going to be able to get anywhere. Sisters matter just as much as brothers matter. Brothers matter just as much as sisters matter. You understand? Brothers are brothers, sisters are sisters. But together we're a family. Together, brothers and sisters, we are a family. Y'all heard that what was that movie back in the day? I guess it wasn't back in the day. I believe it was a remake of it. I guess it was back in the day. They made a remake of it in the 2000s. What was it called? Dream Girls or whatever. I remember I remember way back. I believe Dream Girls came out in the early 2000s. I don't remember. But I remember my mother loving the movie because it was an old movie and it was a remake of the movie. And there was a song. It was a song in the movie called "We Are a Family." I believe Eddie Murphy and some other brother and sister during the movie were singing that we are a family. Well, I brought that up for a reason because brothers and sisters are a family, and brotherhood and sisterhood are very essential. Do you understand? So now, if brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous with each other, and brotherhood and sisterhood are the same, now my next question is, what is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? We think brotherhood is when we wear the same clothes and rocking the same jewelry and we got the same shoes on, we go to the same places, we eat the same food. We think that's what brotherhood is. We think sisterhood is having the same purses, buying the same makeup brands, wearing the same clothes, making sure you're the part of the same sorority. We sorority sisters and all this type of stuff. That's what makes us, that's what sisterhood really looks like and all this type of stuff. No, that's not what brotherhood is, nor is that what sisterhood is. Now, will you get that from brotherhood and sisterhood? Absolutely. You will get that eventually from having brotherhood and sisterhood. You'll wear the same things. You'll start speaking the same. You know what I'm saying? You'll start walking differently. Well, you'll start walking the same. You know what I'm saying? And walking differently from each other. That is a thing. That will happen. That is true. That is something that will happen through brotherhood and sisterhood. But brotherhood is something, and so is sisterhood, and that's something that we want to talk about in tonight's class too, because this is going to get us to the foundation of what brotherhood and sisterhood is. So, what is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? No, that's not what it is. Not necessarily. You're skipping ahead, sister. No sweat, no sweat, Aqua. You're skipping ahead. That's not it. But that is skipping ahead. Think about the question. What is brotherhood? What is sisterhood? Give it one more shot. There's a word that you need to say before you say that. What is brotherhood? What is sisterhood? Love for our people regardless. Okay, okay. You're not wrong, soldier. But pick, okay, out of your sentence, because I'm gonna work with you here, because you're right there. The brother said, and that's a good response. Love for our people regardless. I understand, right? That's a good response. But only choose one word out of that entire sentence, and that's my answer. I'm damn near giving it away. All right. Read your sentence and choose one word out of that sentence, and that's my answer. What is brotherhood to? What is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? Okay, the Aquaption got it, and the brother also got it. Most High in Christ, love. Love is what brotherhood is. Give y'all a hand. Damn right. That damn right. Brotherhood is love. Okay, brotherhood is love. Sisterhood is love. Okay, just to let y'all know. All right, just to let y'all know. All right. The brotherhood class. Y'all have me for 2 or 3 more weeks. All right, for the brotherhood class. All right, y'all have me for about 3 more weeks of this brotherhood class, because I'm gonna be passing down this class to an excellent brother. All right, Officer 50 Quashah. He's gonna be teaching the brotherhood class in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so. All right, most likely he'll get approved. All right, he has he'll get everything set up so he can start teaching the class. He wants to teach the brotherhood class. So of course I got to give every brother their opportunity, to teach this word of the Most High, especially if they taken an oath and earned the obligation to do so. So y'all got me for like 2 or 3 more weeks of this brotherhood. So y'all better be taking y'all notes, all right, and also be coming to class too for the brothers brotherhood class, because I'll be in it too, right, watching this classes too, and watch this excellent brother flourish in this truth. All right, I'm gonna watch this brother flourish in this truth, and I want to see other brothers come into this truth and flourish just as much. Do you understand? All right. Eventually, y'all might just see me only teach the Hebrew class. No sweat. You know what I'm saying? But that's of the Lord. Brothers and sisters need to flood into this truth to learn their culture. But you guys answered that question correctly. Brotherhood is love. Sisterhood is love. That's what brotherhood is. One of the main problems that we have within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community is we have too many definitions of love. We have too many ways of love. There was only supposed to be one way to love each other. There was only one way to express love to each other. The problem is we decided to ourselves of what we think love is and what we feel love is. No one cares about what you feel love is about, and no one cares about what you think love is about. There was always a standard of what love was. No one ever asked you to create your version of love. The problem of the Christian church and the problem of society and the problem through our oppression, we thought it was okay, no thanks to having a free spirit and being taught that you could be a free spirit and God's free will and all this type of stuff. We thought it was okay to make up our own way and definition of love. And the Lord never established that. And the Lord never wanted that to happen. So, with that being said, what is the definition of love? What is love according to the Lord? Because there's only one love, right, that the Lord wants us to have, which is His love, which is God's love. There is no greater love than that, than having God's love. God's love will allow you to do many things for your people. God's love will allow you and teach you to better your own self for your nation of people. Like we don't better ourselves back here just for our own selves. You understand? I want everyone to understand that. We don't come to class every day and we didn't come into this truth to better ourselves just for ourselves. We came back here to better ourselves for our entire nation of people because we understood one day through us, everyone else can eventually come into this truth and better themselves. If I was able to make myself better, then I'm going to show the next brother and sister that they can make themselves better. That's why we're in this truth, because we want to build up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We want to make our people better. You understand? We want to make our nation of people better. That is the goal. That is the objective. That is the spirit of the Lord, to change, to make our people better, change for the better, which is coming back and coming back and serving the Lord the way the Lord wants to be served. Okay, the sister got the answer. Anyone else? What is love according to the Lord? What is God's love? Because that's the only love that matters. A lot of our people think they know what love is. A lot of people say, love feels like this and love looks like this. And I think love is when you feel like this, and love is when he does this to you, and love is when she does this for you. And everyone has their own way of love. Like if we have too many different definitions of love and different ways of love, there's going to be complete disorder throughout the Black family. There's going to be complete disorder throughout the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. If we have too many definitions and ways of love, then the love that we have is going to cause chaos, because my love is different from yours and your love is different from mine. And you teach your children one way to love, and I teach my children another way to love. And once we start teaching different ways of love, now we love each other differently. And then we wonder why marriages aren't lasting. And we're wondering why the divorce rate is so high in the Black community and throughout America, in the Black family, and throughout the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. You're wondering why we're killing each other, murdering each other, stealing from each other, sleeping with each other's wives, leaving our women to get another woman when we were supposed to keep them both. Like there's a reason behind all of that, because we are not loving the Lord the way we're supposed to love the Lord. We do not love each other the way the Lord wanted us to love each other. We just don't know how to love the way the Lord wants us to love. It's just that simple. And that is correct. That is absolutely correct. Love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what love is according to the Lord. That's what love is according to the Bible. Love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. It's not anything else. It's not what you think. It's not what you feel. It's what you might want it to be. That's not what it is. Love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's the foundation of building up strong Black families. That's the foundation of building up true Black, Latino, Native American ethics according to the Lord. Can you bring me to my precept, Bobo Kwasha, about what love is? Go ahead and get it for me when you can, Bobo Kwasha Soldier. The water for that. Can any brother online also give me my precept? If you don't know, that's fine, but you're going to learn tonight on what love is according to the Bible and the precept on where it is. And I mean the bedrock precept. There's plenty of precepts to teach our people what love is. I want y'all to understand that. There's plenty of precepts throughout the Bible, maybe a good 4 or 5. But there is a foundation of one, the bedrock, undebatable. You got it for me, soldier?
Go
ahead.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
For this is the what?
The love of God.
Like the Lord said, this is what love is right here. This is the love of Him. This is what the love of God is. Meaning it's not what you think it is. It's not what you feel it is. It's not what you might want it to be. But this is what love is. Y'all understand that, right? Everybody's getting what I'm putting down? Go ahead, soldier.
That we keep His commandments.
That we what?
That we keep His commandments.
Like that's what love is. Love isn't a feeling. Love has always been an action. Love is something that you do. Love isn't something that you feel. You understand? Love isn't something that you think. Love is something that you do. There's an action behind the word love. Love itself is a verb at times. It's not describing anything. Love is an action. Love is something that you do. And what is that love? It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
That we what?
That we keep His commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not eating shrimp and lobster. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not worshiping these other gods. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not having dreadlocks. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not leaving your husband to get another man just because he gets another woman. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not leaving your wife to get another woman due to the fact that your other woman said it's either me or her, and she gave you some goddamn ultimatum in order to keep your family, in order to keep your relationship, or to keep your marriage. What is love?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is keeping a family together. What is love?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is having 2 or 3 wives and never leaving them. What's love?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is having a wife and not leaving her for another woman. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
If you do decide to get another woman, you keep them both because that's what love is. Love is what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not being a murderer. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is not getting tattoos. It said what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is when you are a man, you don't have sex with another man. Love is what?
That we keep His commandments.
Love is if you are a woman, you don't have sex with another woman. Love is what?
That we keep His commandments.
I pray you guys get the point. Love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Love isn't anything else. This is what love is according to the Bible. I know some of y'all may not like to actually love. Some of y'all just want to hate. Some of our people choose to hate. According to the Lord, we just choose to hate. But the Lord never wanted us to actually hate, meaning to not keep His laws. The Lord wanted us to love because this is what's going to keep Black families together and to fix the Black home. You understand? If you want to raise up strong, beautiful children, and you want to raise up strong sons and delicate and sweet daughters, you're going to have to know what love is. You're going to have to know how to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. I pray you understand. Go ahead, soldier.
And His commandments are not grievous.
And the commandments are what?
And His commandments are not grievous.
And His commandments are not grievous. His commandments are not hard. We believe His grievous means to be hard. All right, meaning it might bring you through some hardship, or it says hard, meaning difficult. It said what?
And His commandments are not grievous.
His commandments are not grievous. His commandments are not hard. But I will tell you what is hard. It's hard for you to not teach your son not to murder, and now he's a tyrant in the Black community, and he ends up killing someone else's son, and now they have to bury their 16-year-old son. Now that's hard. And then now, because your son murdered their son, now your son is facing life in prison or 20 years to life without parole. Now that's a hard life out, right? I know some of y'all understand that. That's a hard life, ain't it? Does that sound like a good life? I mean, if y'all let me know, that must be the life. Maybe I'm missing out, right? I must be missing out. I must be missing out of all the fun, right? I must be missing out of burying my son at 16 and mourning for 3 to 5 years because now my son that I raised up from birth is now gone and I'll never see him again. I must be missing out on the fun. No, that's not what love is. You understand? That's not what love is. And that's hard. That's a hard life. We as a people, we make life harder than it has to be. You understand? We make life harder than it has to be. Life doesn't have to be this hard. But when we decide to not follow what the Lord said to follow, and we choose not to do what the Lord says to do, life is hard. Life becomes difficult. Let's make life easier and keep the Lord's commandments so we don't have to suffer and go through so much hardship and pain when it comes to raising families and establishing a community the way the Lord wants us to establish a community. How about we do that? I mean, it's just a shot in the dark. Just maybe we won't. Just maybe we don't want our sons to be murdered and gunned down on the streets like dogs. Just maybe. Maybe we don't want our sons to be buried at 16. Maybe we don't want to see our daughters all over the internet on Instagram asking for subscribers so they can get paid as long as they twerk naked and do whatever the hell they want to do on OnlyFans and on Instagram and all this type of nonsense. Just maybe we would want to live like that and not go through those kind of hardships. Just maybe. I mean, it's just a shot in the dark. Maybe we want cancer. Maybe we want all the heart attacks. Maybe we want all the diseases. Maybe we just want to live the most horrible life ever and making our life harder than it has to be because we enjoy it. Maybe that's what we want. I mean, I doubt it because we complain about it every goddamn day. I mean, I don't know. I'm just some crazy person on the internet, apparently. Any more on that? That should be it. Give me Genesis chapter 2. Let's start at verse 23. We're going to get into the lesson about family ethics, man. But a family foundation, a family structure, what a marriage is about. Like, we got to understand what marriage is, all right? Because that's something very valuable and important. There has always been a structure within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community to properly raise up a family. Family is something very serious within the Black community. And we have to first find out how you create a family. Actually, for time's sake, go straight to 24 if you can. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. And we're going to break everything down, you understand? And we're going to get into the nitty gritty of things. I know there's some new faces in class. There's some brothers and sisters that may have not been in class for a while. So, brother, tell you how y'all was shy for coming to class. Keep coming to class. Don't forget about this truth. Don't allow your pride to get the best of you. Don't allow your pride. Don't allow your situations in life to stop you from serving the Lord. Don't allow that to happen. Don't allow yourself to be weak. You still have an opportunity out there to be strong. I want everyone to understand that. You still have an opportunity to be strong. Do it. Be strong. Come into the truth and be strong. It's not too late. You're in class. You're in class right now. It's not too late. Be strong. Be an adult. Be a soldier. Be a real woman of the Lord. Be a real man of God. And don't allow your pride to get the best of you, and be strong. And keep coming to class. You understand? Don't allow your heart to faint. Keep coming to class. Because not everyone can do this. Not everyone can be back here. You are the small percentage that the Lord chose and what he wants. Now it's time for you to learn how to be strong and to stay solid in it. It's not too late. You're already here. All right? I hope everyone understands. I hope everyone gets the point that I'm putting down. All right? You got Genesis chapter 2, verse 24 for me, soldier?
This is the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother,
Mm-hmm.
and shall cleave unto his wife.
So like, give me 20, 23. I meant to say. Give me 23.
Verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam said,
And Adam said, now this is Adam. Adam. Does anyone know who Adam is? Adam was the son of God. You can find that in Luke. Adam was the son of God. Adam was a man who the Lord chose to give his laws, statutes, and commandments to. That's what the breath of life was about. The breath of life was God's laws, statutes, and commandments. The breath of life was the Lord's customs and traditions and his culture and his heritage that he wanted Adam to have. Out of all the nation of people on the earth that was already there during Genesis, all right? Throughout all the people that were already on the earth, in the garden, he chose Adam to have his culture. He chose Adam to have his customs and keep his traditions, which was his laws, statutes, and commandments. That was just something naturally that we did when the Lord breathed life into Adam. You understand? And this is Adam talking. This is the man who the Lord chose. This is the man who the Lord chose to start his family with. You understand? This is who he chose. Continue reading, soldier.
and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones.
Now I said, this is bone of my bone. Go ahead.
And flesh of my flesh.
So the Lord is saying right here, this is what Adam is saying. So like Adam is saying, once he laid down with Eve, right? Once he laid down with this woman, all right? Meaning he had sex with this woman. If you guys did not realize, Adam and Eve had sex, all right? Adam laid fire to that tail, broke that back, and made Eve his wife. If you don't understand, I'm going to make you understand tonight. All right. And after he did all of this, Adam said certain words that in this truth we shall never forget. Throughout our generations, we shall never forget the words that Adam said right here. Start from the top.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone.
Go ahead.
And flesh of my flesh.
So when he said this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, can anybody tell me what that means online? Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. What in the hell does that mean? Can anybody tell me what the hell that means? Can anybody tell me what does that mean? Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Anyone online and in class? Now, before y'all answer too, I want y'all to give me my precept to it. It said y'all are one. Okay, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Okay, I see the brother family. That's correct, family. Now, I'm not going to say y'all are one, not yet. All right, not yet. You're not incorrect, okay? But we didn't get there yet. But that was very close. All right? Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh is talking about family, meaning we are a family. You understand? When Adam laid down with Eve and he laid fire to that tail and he broke that back and he gave her whatever the hell he gave her, after that, they were family. You understand? Give me 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 1. And then we're going to get back to Genesis. Hold Genesis, but give me 2 Samuel 5 and 1. We're going to prove that the bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh is talking about family. Now remember, the Bible is spiritual. And Genesis right here is very, very spiritual, meaning as a people, we talk spiritual. When I say you're my blood, am I saying you're my actual blood? Like you're the blood that runs through my veins? Like you're the literal blood that runs through my veins? No. Well, if I say you my blood, I'm saying you my kin, you my family, because you come from my bloodline. You come from my people. You come from my family. That's what that means in the Bible. That's what that means in the scripture. So when we say that's the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh, if you read 2 Samuel 5 and 1, you understand? He said, we're going to get right here in 2 Samuel 5 and 1. I believe that there's another event when I believe not Lot, but who Laban, when he seen Jacob, right? No, was it Jacob? Yes. When Laban seen Jacob, he said, You are my bone. Like he said that, you the bone of my bone, because you're my family. You clearly are my family. Once Jacob said who my father was and who my mother is, he said, Well, you are my bone. You are my bone because you are my blood. You are my family. Like this is truly a black man, Latino man's book. And we got to understand that fundamentally to understand the ethics and the foundation and the structure of a black, Hispanic, and Native American family. Read 2 Samuel 5 and 1, Baba Koshai. Let me see if this is the right one. Let me see. Read 2 Samuel 5 and 1, Baba Koshai.
Then came, then came all the tribes of Israel.
Now, there came all the tribes of Israel. Now, remember, the tribes of Israel is a nation of people. The tribes of Israel is literally a entire nation of people. You got Simeon, Levi, Judah, Benjamin, Issachar, Naphtali, I already said Issachar, Zebulun, Gad, Asher, Reuben, Manasseh, Ephraim, you name it. I may have named them all. I may have missed maybe one or two. Salakia, it always happens. I don't know why, but I always miss one or two for some odd reason. But you guys get the point. Like these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and we are an entire nation of people. You understand? Go ahead.
To David, unto Hebron.
So they went up to King David, which is a person, King David. And King David was also a what? He was a Jew. He was an Israelite. He was of the 12 tribes of Israel. Y'all get the point. Go ahead.
And spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh.
It said, we are thy what?
Thy bone and thy flesh.
Because we are the same nation. We come from the same people. We are of the same, read my mind, read my thoughts. We are the same family. That's what the Lord wants us to understand right here. So when Adam did what he did with Eve, they became a family because sex is marriage according to the Bible. Some of y'all may not want to hear this, but if you lay down with a man, if you give him fellatio, if he gives you congolingus, I'm using these technical terms so I don't get flagged, okay? But you know, fellatio, y'all know what fellatio is. If you don't know, look it up. All right? If you don't know what congolingus is, go ahead and look it up. But that's oral sex from a man or a woman. I believe fellatio is when a man receives oral sex, and congolingus is when a woman receives oral sex. So sex is marriage according to the Bible. You understand? If you laying down with a woman and you doing the whatever, and you playing the Temptations and Al Green and Marvin Gaye and all these, you know, Prince and all these songs, and you know you doing whatever you doing, and Casey and JoJo and Blackstreet and you know Tony, and you know y'all just having a good old time. You just married that sister, and you just married that brother. You was throwing that thing back, won't you? That's your husband now. You was giving her that work. That's your wife now. And that's something to be understood. And now you're family. Give me my precept that sex is marriage, Jock. Do you know that by heart? If you don't, know it by heart. From this point on, Exodus 21 and 16. I'm sure you knew it by heart, though. But I'm just saying, anyone also online too as well. Remember these precepts by heart to prove that sex is marriage according to the Lord. And I'm also going to do you one better. All right, I'm going to do you one better as well. Not do you one better because this is the foundation. But I'm going to prove to you that sex is marriage when when Isaac married Rebekah and when he went into his mother's tent. I'm gonna go ahead and get that for you guys. All right. All right. Like this is something so important to understand. Sex is marriage. Sex builds families. Like how can sex not create a family when the possible chances of you having children through sex is very likely? You damn near have a 90% chance of creating a child once you have sex with a woman unprotected. Damn, you know, and it's still, even if you are having sex with this woman protected, there's still a damn near 40% of this sister getting pregnant and having your children. How is sex not marriage? How is sex not creating a family? We think we can just have sex with whoever and whenever. We believe we can just lay down with anyone, right? And anything, and it doesn't matter. This is how we end up destroying families by not realizing what marriage really is according to the Bible and how important it is and how it creates a family. When you have sex with a woman and you have sex with a man, you literally created a family. And it's best to understand the foundation of that family so you can create that family and raise that family up properly, which is through love, which is God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And we're about to get one of his laws that creates a family. We're about to give you the law that states how a family is created and how a marriage is created. When we don't follow these laws, we end up destroying ourselves. When we do not keep the Lord's ordinances, we end up destroying the black family and the household. You're wondering why sisters are raising kids on their own? Like no sister on this earth, no black woman, and no Latino, Hispanic, Native American woman should have to raise 4 to 5 kids by themselves and on their own. I don't know about you, but I would never want to see a sister raise kids on their own. It hurts me. It makes me so sad that my women have to raise their kids on their own. No other nation of people on this earth have to raise their children on their own the way black women do, and the way Latino women do, and the way Native American women do. It is so sad. It's absolutely horrifying to see something like that. And some of them embrace it. Some of them love it. Some of them says this is, it's damn near the best thing since sliced bread. But it's so horrible to see our sisters in that condition. That's because we don't follow that sex is marriage. Go ahead.
This Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
So if you entice a maid, like you spit game to a sister. I know some of y'all brothers may not want to hear this. All right. Well, nah, y'all may want to hear this. But some of y'all sisters need to hear this too, man. Entice means to spit game. The Lord, listen, the Israelites been spitting game since Moses. It said to entice. How do you entice a sister? Oh, you look beautiful. I love your hair. I just love your natural beauty. Ooh, wee, look at that. I love your nails. You know what I'm saying? I like the way you talk. I like the way you walk. How about I take you out a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Oh, you must get that from your mama, don't you? Ooh, wee, I know you got that from your mama. You know how to entice a woman. You know how to sweet talk the sister. Give the sister a hand, sweet talk. You know how to sweet talk a sister. And listen, every sister falls for some sweet talk. You can be the damn near the ugliest man on the earth. You sweet talk a sister, those panties coming off, Salakia. You understand? They coming absolutely off. You understand? I get my son laughed a little bit. He must understood the joke. You understand? But at the end of the day, all right, you enticing the sister, you enticing the maid. All right, go ahead.
And lie with her.
Salakia, go start from the top. I want you to focus on not betrothed. Salakia, I missed the point there. One more time, soldier.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed.
That is not betrothed. Salakia, I missed this point too. Not betrothed, meaning you can't talk to a sister that's already talking to a brother. If this sister is already like engaged to a brother and she's already dealing with a brother, you cannot talk to her. You cannot entice her. You can't spit game with her. You can't do any of these things. You can't do it. It's within our law saying, listen, you can only talk to a sister that's not betrothed, meaning she has to be absolutely single. All right? Go ahead, soldier. Hey, Adelam, go sit down, Bubukusha.
And lie with her.
And what?
And lie with
meaning
her.
lay fire to that tail. It said what?
And lie with her.
You break that back. It said what?
And lie with her.
You give her a good old time, whatever the case may be. It said what?
And lie with
meaning
her.
you have sex with her. To lie with her, meaning you have sex with her. That's what that means. Go ahead.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Meaning you have to make her your wife. Now she's your wife. Now she's your woman. She can no longer be anyone else's woman. Now she's yours. You understand? The spirit behind a man having sex with a woman was always to create a family. It was always in the concept of, if you like this sister, and let me explain, all right? It's okay to have a natural desire. It's okay to have a natural lust for a sister. It's okay to have a natural lust and desire for a brother. There has to be like a natural good lust that you're going to have, meaning a strong desire. It's not a sin to desire something you know, that's lawful. Let me explain. If you, as a sister, desire a brother and you are not married, you're single, and you like him and you think he's fine or whatever, that's not you lusting. That's you're good. That's lawful. That's natural. That's a natural feeling, or that's a natural whatever desire to have. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are a brother and you see a sister and you know she's completely single and you desire that sister, all right, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a natural lust. That's a natural desire. Because remember, lust just means a desire. Now when you desire something that's evil, that's against the Lord, like a woman that already has a man. You understand? Or you desire that brother when he has a woman and you want him all to yourself, so you give him an ultimatum to leave his first woman. Now that's a terrible lust to have. And I know some of y'all sisters didn't want to hear that, but I know some of y'all sisters out there, maybe none of them in class. All these sisters that are in class are beautiful and righteous sisters, and they would never do something like that. But them sisters in the world, they desire brothers with a woman, and their entire objective is to take them from their man, to take them from their woman, and to take that woman's sister and leave her alone. Do you know how unsisterly that is? Do you know how evil that is? Now that's a non-righteous lust. You guys get the point, all right? I just want to break that down a little. But once a man has sex with a woman, that's the creation of that family. Now the sister asked a good question right here. Give me Genesis 24 and 67. I believe that's the precept that I was going to go to next. Give me Genesis chapter 24, verse 67, and then we're going to go back to Genesis chapter 2 to finish off. Because we have to understand how to create a family. Because we have to realize the creation of a family is how you keep a family. You understand? Once you have sex with that woman, once you have sex with that brother, you can't leave. That is now your family, and you guys build together. And you guys deal with each other for the rest of your lives. Because from the beginning, divorce was not so. That's what Christ said. So the law of Christ, there is a law of Christ. And the law of Christ is to not leave your husband if he gets another man. And as a man, to not leave your woman to get another woman. You have to keep them both. That's the love of Christ. Some of y'all may not realize what the love of Christ is, but we have to understand the foundation of keeping a family. You can't just be out here being disgusting human being that you are and having sex with anything and everything and busting down these sisters and leaving them. You're destroying these sisters when you do that. I want some of y'all brothers to understand this. Of course, none of y'all brothers in class. I only pray that none of y'all brothers in class are just having sex with women and leaving them, knowing damn well that they are your wives. I can only expect that of a one West soldier. I can only expect it. It's expected of me, so I can only expect it of you. So now, with that being said, if you are those brothers out there in the world, man, they leave, they have sex with a sister and they leave, and they have sex with another sister and leave. You can't do that as a brother. If you have sex with a sister, that is your wife now, and that is your family. Now you have a responsibility. Now you have someone that you're going to love. Now you have someone that you're going to have to be there for. I pray that everyone understands. You got that scripture from Yak? What does it say? It should be the last scripture of the chapter, correct?
Oh,
Yeah, so I think that is the precept that I'm going to next.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent.
Okay, so 1 second. Give the sister a hand. Give Shakal Pakwak a hand. Most of Christ. Give Sister Shakal a hand. All right, so that's correct. This is another precept to prove that sex is marriage. Go ahead. Start from the top for me.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah.
And took Rebekah, meaning what? How did he take Rebekah? Anybody tell me how he took Rebekah? Anyone in class or online, how did Isaac take Rebecca? He said, and took Rebecca. How did he take her? Go ahead.
So like you, sir, he had sex with her.
He did what?
He had sex with
That's correct. He had sex with her. He had sex with his sister. Do you understand? He took her. He took her. You know, y'all know how y'all take sisters. That's not now when it says to take, right? Shake those sheets, right? Had sex with her. That's correct. Y'all know how y'all take those sisters. Some of y'all brothers know how y'all take those sisters. Some of y'all sisters know how a brother takes you. You grab her by the hand, you give her that look, and she already know what's about to happen. She already knows. She's like, ooh wee, I can't wait. Y'all understand? Y'all get the point. That's what Isaac did. Took her in them tents. They said what?
and took Rebecca,
Mm-hmm.
and she became his wife.
And he did what?
And she became his wife.
And she became his what?
His wife.
His wife. When Isaac had sex with Rebecca, now that was his wife. Now my question is, where was the wedding? Where was the ring? Where was the license? Where was the legality of that they were married together and all this type of stuff? Where was it? The spirit behind it all was the sex is what completed the marriage, because sex has always been marriage. All right? As a brother, don't be a filthy, disgusting human being and just have sex with a sister and she means absolutely nothing to you. Don't just have sex with a woman and she means nothing to you. You're going to end up destroying that sister. I don't know about you, but I have a daughter. All right? And I grew up with sisters. All right? So maybe I may sympathize with a little bit of sisters when their feelings get hurt. Salakia, all right, but I might sympathize with sisters out there just a little bit when their feelings get hurt because of some prick. Now, of course, they may have not known the truth, but we know the truth now. And so, any brother out there, tell these other brothers out there too that the truth is sex is marriage, and don't be a prick. Don't be that dirtbag that just wants to have sex with his sister and she means nothing to you. Let that sister mean something to you. You mean you had sex with her, didn't you? So now she's just a piece of tail. Now she's a piece of air to you. Now she's a piece of kitty to you. That's how sisters become whores. You're wondering why sisters are just whores? Because you make them out to be. Some of y'all may not want to hear that as brothers, but you make sisters out to be whores when you decide to treat them like nothing and just use their box because you just want to get some, you wanted to ejaculate because you want to, whatever. You get the point. All right. I don't need to go into detail, but you guys get the point. We destroy sisters that way. How about we understand how to keep a marriage together and how to build up black families together the proper way? Sex is marriage. You understand? That's what that is. Care about the sister. Be there for the sister. You lay down with her. Now she's your responsibility. The problem within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, we no longer have a sense of responsibility once we lay down with someone because sex was now used for just pleasure and leisure. Now, sex is pleasurable. Absolutely. God knew what he was doing. Listen, I don't know about you, but I give prayers to the Lord for these reasons. Salaki, just kidding. That was a joke. I pray for the Lord for other reasons. All right, but it's a beautiful thing. You understand? It's a great thing. And it feels great. But that's not what it's all there for. There's a responsibility that you owe to that sister if you're a brother. And when that man lays down with you as a sister, all right, or slacking as a sister, when that brother lays down with you, now you also owe a responsibility to him. Now you're his wife. You owe the responsibility of what? Can anybody tell me that responsibility? Can anybody tell me online or in class, what is that responsibility that that brother owes to his wife? And what is that responsibility that that sister owes to that brother? Can anybody tell it to me? If you guys can answer this correctly, you'll truly have a breakthrough through this class. Bring me back to Genesis chapter 24. Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. So like it. Can anybody tell me that responsibility that's owed? Let me see how many of y'all were paying attention in class tonight. Let's find out how many of y'all are paying attention in class. What is that responsibility? What is that? I want y'all to think about it. What is that responsibility that that brother owes to that sister, and what that sister owes to that brother? And God damn it, I may want a precept. I might just want a precept. Brother, you put your hand down when I said it, huh? No, I'm just joking. You good? You too out. Okay, I see some answers. Okay, I'm gonna find out who's right online. Okay, let me get the brother's answer. Go ahead.
The duty of marriage, which is set.
No, that's not the responsibility. I see some answers online and they're good now. Some of them is good, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Only one got it completely right. Only one got it completely right. So I want y'all to change y'all answers if y'all can figure it out who it was. All right. Now these are all good answers though. You want to give it one more shout out? Let's find out. Those are some good answers. Those are some heavy answers. I mean, yeah, that is a responsibility. I mean, absolutely, yeah. That's true. That's true. I'm gonna give it to y'all for time's sake because I want to get into more of the lesson. All right. I'm sure y'all. The brother got it correct, by the way. Online, the brother got it correct. To love them. That's the responsibility. That has always been the responsibility. To love your wife, to love your husband, and of course, which is to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the responsibility. That has always been the responsibility. You know, the 90% sisters don't want is for you to leave. That's like a sister's biggest fear. A sister does not want you to leave. I don't know if any of y'all understood this in the world, and y'all may have not went through it. I don't know. I have. But when you get with a sister and you lay down with her, she don't even want you to leave the house out. I mean, she wants you. She wants to be all up under you. She doesn't even want you to go to work. She doesn't even want you to go anywhere. She does not want you to leave at all. And then you decide to leave her for good. You just destroyed her. You completely destroyed her entire. I don't know what sisters. I don't know what the words that sisters use, but you destroyed her entire mental. You destroyed her entire everything. You understand? Sisters do not want you to leave. I don't know if anyone. I mean, the sisters are saying I'm saying something right, so I must be telling the truth. Salakia, that must solidify what I'm talking about. But sisters do not want you to leave. That's 90%. We just solved 90% of your problems. We're not going to leave you. We're not going to leave you, and we never will. You know why? Because we love you. That's what real love is. That's exactly what real love is. You understand? And the Lord understood that. The Lord understood. The Lord understood y'all women. You understand? The Lord understood y'all sisters. You understand? That's why He put these laws here, because He loved y'all sisters, and He mandated us to not leave you. All right? Not either one of you. Not at all. Y'all get the point. Well, some good answers right there. Most High Christ. Okay, I see your Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13. What's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13? You got Genesis, whole Genesis, and let me see what Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says real quick. All right. Let me see if that goes on topic. Let's see what Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says. Y'all don't forget to put your name, city, and state. All right. Make sure y'all sign in and check in. Don't forget to put your name, city, and state so you can get attendance for class. But let's find out. What Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 says? What does it say, soldier?
It says,
Is this talk? Is the conclusion of all things? Is this the conclusion?
Go.
So like, I think I read the Bible too much. Maybe I read the Bible too much, but I figured that's what it was. Well, let's find out. Go ahead.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Go ahead.
Fear God.
There you go.
And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
Damn right. Damn right. Damn right. That's the whole duty of man. Now give me back to Genesis 2, Genesis chapter 2. Damn right. That's a beautiful precept right there. That's the conclusion. You understand? That's the conclusion of the entire matter. Just keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and life would not be hard. And then we can finally establish families the way the Lord wants us to establish our families. Go ahead and read 24 for me.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother.
Did we finish 23 or la? Salaki, did we finish 23? Go ahead and just read from the top of 23 so we can finish it out.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh.
So this is when, Adam and Eve, they got married and they became a family. They had sex and they became a family. Go ahead.
She shall be called woman.
She shall be called what?
Woman.
Go ahead.
Because she was taken out of the man.
Because she was taken from man. Because she was taken out of his family. That man isn't talking about an actual man. That man is talking about the man, meaning like mankind itself, meaning his family. All right, because the context of everything is talking about family. Because she came from his family. Okay, that's why she was called a woman. All right, go ahead. Asha in the Hebrew.
There shall a man leave his father and his mother.
So this is the cause. All right, this is what it says. It said what?
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother.
So therefore shall a man leave his father and mother. Because of this marriage, and because now there's a responsibility that he has for this woman. And this also goes for a man. This also goes for a sister too. You also leave your father and your mother because of so. And that's spiritual. That's not saying you don't keep in contact with your mother and your father anymore. That doesn't mean you don't visit family anymore just because, you're married. That just means your focus is no longer being a child. You understand? That's why sex isn't for children. I pray everybody understands. Sex is not for children for this very reason. You are no longer a child once you have sex. Now you're an adult. Now you have responsibility once you do it. And then now you have responsibilities that come after it. The possibilities of these teenagers getting pregnant out. And some, we all know a lot of our sisters out there in the Black community, we get pregnant very young. They get pregnant very young. Some of these brothers become teenage fathers. So we know there's a great responsibility that comes with sex. When you have sex, you are no longer a child. That's why the Lord says, for therefore shall you leave. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. Because now you are no longer a child. You no longer have to, how can I say this? In our culture, if you got married off, you are no longer under the responsibility of your father and your mother. They're no longer teaching you. Now you're a full-grown woman, and you're an adult. You can live life. You can make simple decisions. You know what I'm saying? You know how to clean yourself, wash yourself, do your hair. You're a woman. You get the point. You can work now. You can get a job, all this type of stuff. You're a woman now. You understand? You can do all these things now. That's why you're able to have sex, because you can take care of yourself if need be. You can get a job if need be. You know how to change, whatever. You get the point. When your friend comes in town and your cycle is there, your flower is there, you know how to properly deal with it. You're not a child anymore. No one's teaching you how to change you guys get the point, all right? And as a son, you're no longer under the authority of your father. He's not telling you how to do certain things. He doesn't have to tell you to take care of the house the way the house is supposed to be taken care of and take care of the yard the way the yard is supposed to be taken care of, and how to wear a belt, and how to pull up your pants, and how to wear your shoes, and how to dress properly. Now you're a full grown man. You know how to do this on your own. So you're no longer a child. You understand? So when the Lord says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, because you are no longer a child anymore. Now you're an adult because you are married. You had sex. And now you have a responsibility. We have to realize before you have this sex, you might want to know what responsibility is. You can't just have sex because it feels good. There's a responsibility. Even though it does feel great, it's not just there for you to feel good. Now there's a responsibility. I pray everybody understands. Continue reading, soldier.
And shall cleave unto his wife.
Because now he's going to cleave unto his wife. Just like a sister would cleave unto his husband. Go ahead. To her husband, Salaki.
And they shall be one flesh.
And that shall be what?
One flesh.
And they shall be one flesh. They shall be one flesh. What does that one flesh mean? Anybody tell me? What does one flesh mean? Anyone online or in class? What is that one flesh? I know you know the answer, soldier. I'm going to give them some time to answer. And I'll still call on you. But what is that one flesh? Now, this is something very important. We got to know what this one flesh is. And if anyone can answer this correctly, we can finally have a breakthrough. Okay, the sister no. Hosanna in Christ. Anyone else want to give it a shot? Go ahead and give me the answer, brother.
One family.
One family. And give the sister a hand too. She got it correct. One family. That's exactly correct. One family. You become one family. Give the brother a hand. You become one family. That's what happens. You got raised in a family, then you leave and you create your own family. That's how it always was. You leave your family, then you create a whole new family, and then they grow up and you raise them and they create another family. And you raise them up and they create another family. Then you have a bunch of children creating family after family after family, and now you have an entire family of people. Now you have an entire nation of people by building up families. You understand? How can you listen, you can't build a family with one sister. You understand? 5 men having sex with one sister and giving her children is not a family. That's not how you build up a family. It just sounds weird just coming out. You as a sister having sex with 5 men, having 5 children by different men, it's not a family. That's not a family. That's not how it works. They all have different fathers. They all have different lineages. They all come from different, who knows what nation they may come from. You understand? That's not how you build a family. And then so you're talking about 5 men are going to be over one woman? So now I'm going to share this woman. No man is going to share a woman like that at all. No man in their right mind is going to want a woman that has sex with 4 other men and have children by them. Not at all. You understand? And that's naturally. We're just naturally programmed that way. The Lord understood what he was doing when he created these laws and gave them to Adam from the beginning. Men have a natural state of mind, just like women have a natural state of mind. And the Lord created laws based off of it because he created you. Does everybody get the point? That's just the reality. You understand? Give me Genesis 3:16. Like, this is the essence of a family. We have to realize what it means to keep a family together. The Lord wants us to understand how to structure a family properly. The Lord does not want us to destroy our families the way we are destroying them. Like, and we have to pay very, very close attention to this because it's all about family. This truth back here is all about family. Family is the only thing that matters back here, and it's to structure it the way the Lord wants us to structure this family. The reason why there's so much murder and chaos and destruction within the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, and sisters are raising kids on their own, and sisters have 5 to 6 different baby daddies, and brothers have a bunch of different baby mamas, and they all on child support and all this type of stuff, is because we are not following the laws of the Lord. And we are not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. If you hate child support, serve the Lord. Shoot, I hate child support. Y'all must love child support with the women y'all sleep with. Y'all must love it. Excuse the hell out of me, but Salakia soldier, some of these brothers may not to hear this. Some of these brothers in the world are just stupid and dumb. They must love child support. They love it. It's almost like the sisters that they choose. It's like, listen, brother, you are going to go on child support with this sister. When you have sex with this sister, you are going to be on child support. This sister is going to run you through the dirt. This sister does not care about family. She just wants to have sex with you. You understand that, right? And now you just gave her a child. She does not want to be with you. And then you, being the dummy that you are, you think that you're going to get another woman without her finding out. And now you have a kid with this sister. She's going to leave you out because she's not in the truth. And all she did was want to have sex with you. And now you're on child support. Well, guess what? You're going to do the very same thing with the next sister because you're dumb. And you're stupid. It's just that simple. You're dumb and you're stupid. Stop being dumb and stupid. Unless you love child support, then just continue to be dumb and stupid. And not create families the way the Lord wanted you to create families. Know how to properly learn how to create a family through God's laws, statutes, and commandments, the way the Lord wanted you to create these families. So goes for the sisters. Let's not have all these baby fathers out here. Be with the one man the Lord said for you to be with, and have his children and create families so they all know who their father is. You understand? So he can raise them and be in their life. Fathers are important to be in a child's life, just as much as it's important for a mother to be in their children's life. They need the comfort of a mother and the discipline of a father. Every child needs it. Y'all get the point? You got that scripture for me, soldier? Go ahead and read it for me.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Unto the woman he said.
It said, unto the woman. So the Lord is talking to who? The Lord is talking to Eve in this scripture right here. And the Lord is going to say something real heavy to Eve that some sisters fail to realize and understand what the hell they are supposed to do and how they are supposed to live. And brothers have to understand this too. Nowadays, Salaki soldier, I don't know if you heard this before, but apparently men have become so weak now. No thanks to the Christian church. We want to be submissive. I heard some rumors out there. Y'all let me know if I'm not telling the truth. But this is just what I heard. Men want to be submissive now. Men no longer want to lead. Men no longer want to be in charge of anything. They want the woman to be in charge. I believe now men are attracted to sisters that are strong and independent and want to be in charge. I believe that's a thing now. I believe the whole order flip-flopped throughout generations. Let me know if I'm saying anything wrong online too, if y'all know, but this is just what I heard through the grapevine. Brothers nowadays want to be weak, and they want to be submissive, and they want to damn near play the role of a woman in a marriage. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this up, but this is what I heard. You know what I'm saying? This is what I heard throughout the grapevine. Go ahead and read that for me, soldier. Continue.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
The brother said, weak men do because they see it as an easier road to travel. Okay, I can see that. Right. Because it's something that's easy. That's why some men end up having sex with whores, because it's easy. That's why, it's easier to leave a woman. It's easier to have sex with a woman and leave her. That's easy, right? It's easy. Even though it's hard, it's definitely harder to have sex with a woman and leave her because now you just gave that woman a child and now you're on child support. Was it easy? Is it easy now? You thought it was easy, but is it easy now? The brother made a good point. Read it one more time for me, soldiers to like you.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow. The Lord said, I'm going to greatly multiply thy sorrow. Meaning, I'm going to multiply that sadness of yours. You are going to be sad and depressed. I'm going to multiply it. You're wondering why some of y'all sit out there crying all the time, and y'all just cry for the simplest things. Some sisters out there, they'll stare at the wall and just start crying. They'll see the kids and start crying. They start watching The Notebook and loving basketball and just start crying for just anything. Because the Lord said, what?
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow.
I will multiply thy sorrow. Go ahead.
And thy conception.
And thy conception. What's conception? What's conception, soldier?
That's when they're bringing forth a kid.
Right, meaning you're going to go through suffering and pain during childbirth. And there's a reason why you're going to go through all of this. There's a reason why, because the Lord wants to teach Eve something. The Lord wants to teach the woman something. This is what the Lord is going to explain to us what he wants this woman to learn and to understand and to be taught. The Lord is going to explain it just in a bit. It said what?
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Go ahead.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
So in sorrow, meaning in pain and suffering, all right, it's going to be real hard. That's why you're screaming on the labor table, and you're screaming so goddamn hard. Talking about push, push, push. I can't do it. It's so painful. Well, the Lord said this is what's going to happen. And it's spiritual. It's a beautiful thing when you go on that table and you push my child out or whoever's child out. It's a beautiful thing when you do it because it tells us something. It teaches us something. If you are a brother, I want you to pay very close attention to what it teaches us. And as a sister, I also want you to pay attention to this because it also is supposed to teach you something. It's supposed to remind you of something. Go ahead.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And it said what?
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Now this is what it's going to teach you as a sister. Your desire shall be to your husband. Meaning you should only want to be your husband. The reason why you're pushing this baby on your damn near deathbed on your table because you desire that man. You wanted to have sex with that man. You found him attractive, and you seen that he was a strong brother, and you wanted to create a family with him. At least you were willing to by having the sex with him. And now you're on that table, and you're about to give birth to the most beautiful Black, Latino, Native American child ever. Let that desire be to your husband. Let that desire be to you, to who you opened your legs up to. Not to your pastor, not to your bishop, not to your uncle, not to your daddy, but to who you call daddy for those 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 30 minutes or to an hour. I don't know. I don't care. But you get the point. Go ahead.
And he shall rule over thee.
Read that one more time, soldier.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall do what?
Rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. Now, as a sister, what is this going to teach you? As a sister, this is going to teach you something. All of this pain and suffering and sadness that you go through, it's supposed to teach you that a man is supposed to be over you, that you need a man. And there's supposed to be a man over you in being the authority and the power over you. The Lord said what?
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. He shall be like a ruler to you, a leader over you. That's give the sister a hand. That's what it's supposed to teach you. That's what it's supposed to remind you of. That this man that you laid down with and who you have this child with, he is your ruler. He is your leader. He is the one, and some of y'all sisters hate to hear this word, but I'm going to say it. Some of y'all sisters just completely despise this word, but I'm going to say it. Control. He's the one that controls you. He's the one that's supposed to be in control of you. You understand? Some of y'all sisters talking about, he played me. He played me. Well, guess what? He's supposed to control you. He's not playing with you. He's supposed to control you. He's supposed to be over you. He's supposed to be teaching you and guiding you and protecting you. He didn't play you. You think he's playing you. All right? Just because he got another sister doesn't mean he played you. All right? Just because he gets another woman, he didn't play you, sis. All right? You're going to end up playing yourself in a minute if you don't realize that this is of the Lord. Don't leave that brother if he gets another woman. This is your leader. This is your ruler. This is your power. The Bible said what?
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall be what?
Rule over thee.
Now for the brothers, what is this going to teach you? What does this teach you as a brother? If y'all can get this, then y'all have a breakthrough. As a brother, what does this teach you as a brother? Say that one more time. Read that one more time for me, so the biblical shot.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. So as a brother, what does this teach our brothers? What is this supposed to remind our brothers? Okay? You want to give it a shot, soldier?
That we should be in charge of a woman.
There's one word I'm looking for. Now, to give you a hint, right? Throughout class, I've said this. Like this is how I teach class, right? Just like how the general teaches class. I'll never ask you a question that I never gave you the answer to. The answer is always within the lesson. You want to give it one more shot? Or la? It's too obvious if you may not want to give it a shot, but maybe you'll figure it out. What does this teach our brothers?
To be in charge.
La. Even though that's a part of it, but that's not the word I'm looking for. There's a word I'm looking for. I'm going to give it to y'all for time's sake. But give the brother a hand, the young man. Give him a hand. This teaches us responsibility. That's what this teaches us. This teaches us once we lay down with that woman, now she's our responsibility. That's what it taught us. Read that one more time for me, soldier.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee, meaning he is going to rule over this sister, meaning once you had sex with that sister, she's your responsibility. You are now in control of her, meaning, remember, I just got finished reading Genesis. We just became a family. Now we're one. This sister is now under your responsibility. She's under your rulership. She's under your authority, meaning if she's out of line, guess who else is out of line? You. If she's disrespectful, guess who else is disrespectful? You. If she is shameful, guess who else is shameful? You. In a nutshell, she is your responsibility. Does everybody get the point? It is not just something, listen, sex isn't for everyone. Marriage obviously is not for everyone because it's a serious matter. All right, a very serious matter. Read that part one more time.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. Sisters, understand this. Listen to your man. Listen to you. Listen to who you lay down with. You understand? You were just on your back 3 weeks ago, and now you took a test, and now you're pregnant. All right? Listen to that, brother. All right? You talking about I'm the head, I'm the HBIC, I run things here, and all this type of stuff. No, you don't. You were just on your back 3 weeks ago. Salakia. All right? I don't want to hear it. Not at all. The Lord put this in the Bible for a reason. It said what?
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. He shall be in charge of you. All right? I pray you guys get the point. I pray you guys understand. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2 and 3. All right? I hope y'all get the spiritual aspect when I say certain things. All right? All I'm saying, soldier, is, all right, my legs were not in the air. So you're going to obey me. All right? That's all I'm saying. All right? That is all I'm saying. You got that scripture for me, soldier?
Well, it's like it was again.
1 Timothy chapter 2. I mean, sorry, 1 Timothy chapter 4. Salakia. 1 Timothy chapter 4. And get verse 2 for me.
Come. Speaking lies and hypocrisy.
What does verse 1 say?
Now the Spirit speaketh expressively that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Okay, yeah. Let's start from verse 1 to get some context.
Giving heed to seducing spirits.
Start from the top of the Shah.
Verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressively.
So now it says, the Spirit, that's talking about the Spirit of the Lord. Speaketh expressively. Go ahead.
That in the latter times some shall depart from the faith.
Some shall depart from the faith. Some shall depart from the truth of the Lord when it comes to keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. There's going to come a time. Does anybody know what that time is? That time is now. That time is happening right now. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are not keeping the laws of the Lord. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans are not keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Some tried and they left. Some just don't know. Some just don't want to do it. We are in those later times. Go ahead.
And doctrines of devils.
And what?
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of devils. Who are those devils? Anybody tell me who those devils are? Like, we have to understand all of this to realize why our families are destroyed and why we can't get anywhere in life. Now our communities are destroyed. There's so much murder, rape, molestation, because we are not doing what the Lord said to do. You're wondering why your marriages fail and you completely hate and despise your husband and you hate and despise your wife, is because we are following under the doctrines of devils. The doctrines of devils is referring to our oppressors' religion and these other nations and races of people's religions and their philosophies and their culture. Read that one more time, soldier.
And doctrines of devils.
Go ahead. Meaning deceivers. Go ahead.
Speaking lies.
Speaking lies, because it's far from the truth. It's not what the truth is. But our brothers and sisters, they completely eat it up. Go ahead.
speaking lies and hypocrisy.
Hey, what?
Lies and hypocrisy.
What does it mean to be a hypocrite? Meaning you say one thing and you do another. Go ahead.
Having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
And having their what?
Their conscience seared with a hot iron.
And their conscience seared with a hot iron. Meaning what? Their state of mind is completely cut off with an iron. Meaning it's separated from what the Lord wanted you to do. Go ahead.
Forbidding to marry.
It said what?
Forbidding to marry.
To do what?
Forbidding to marry.
What does it mean to forbid to marry? Can anybody tell me what it means to forbid to marry? Like there are doctrines on the earth, and there are philosophies on the earth that teaches our people to forbid to marry. We don't realize how evil it is to forbid each other to marry. Meaning that you can't do it at all. You understand? We cannot forbid anyone to marry. We cannot take anyone's right of marriage away. And I pray you understand. We can only advise you that marriage may not be for you, but we cannot forbid you to marry. All right? We cannot lawfully do so. All right? And no one can lawfully do so. So what does it mean to forbid to marry? Anyone online or in class, what does that mean? What does it mean to forbid to marry? Anybody want to give it a shot? What does it mean to forbid to marry? Want to give it a shot, soldier?
So I feel it would mean like you telling somebody not to get married.
Okay, that's correct. Now, my next question is, all right? My next question is, right, refuse to do so, right. So now my next question is, give me a practical example, all right, forbidding someone to marry. And then tell me who does it. Who forbids to marry on the earth? Can anybody tell me a doctrine of a devil that forbids you to marry? That's my full question. Give me a doctrine of a devil that refuses you to marry. Let's see how many Christians are back here. Let's see how many Christians came to class today. Because after tonight's class, I'm going to wipe the Christianity off of you. All right? There's no sweat. Give me the doctrine of devils that forbid you or anyone to marry. You got it, soldier? Go ahead. Give me the answer.
One would be them telling a woman that he only can have one wife.
Okay, who is they?
The Christian church.
So the Christian church is the what?
The doctrine of the devil.
The Christian church is the doctrine of devils. They're one of the doctrines of devils. Christianity, so to speak, is the doctrine of devils. And you said they teach our sisters what?
They teach the sisters that a man can only have one wife.
That a man can only have one wife. Okay, that's true. Anyone else? Someone give me another practical example. And expound on what the brother said. How? Well, maybe I should ask this. Now, what the brother said is correct. But now, how is that forbidding to marry? Can anybody tell me how that's forbidding to marry? How is the Christian church telling a woman a man can only have one wife forbidding to marry? Let's find out. Let's see who knows. Let's see. Okay, not so much monogamy, right? Not so much monogamy. Give me Psalms 127 and 3, Book of Rashad. Not so much monogamy, because there's nothing wrong with a man just having one wife. There's nothing wrong with it. If you decide to have one wife, there's nothing wrong with you having just one wife. That's not the issue. You can have no wives, and that's not an issue, right? Let me give it to y'all for time's sake, too. All right? I'm going to give it to y'all for time's sake. And what the brother said was absolutely correct. To forbidding to marry, the Christian church forbids our people to marry. The Christian church teaches our sisters something, and it also prevents our sisters from doing something. Even though a lot of our people may not go to the Christian church, a lot of our people really don't go to church, but they're Christian. You understand? Most of our people are not real quote unquote devout Christians the way they say that they are. All right. They don't go to church, but they wear a cross around their neck. All right. They're not on church. They're not at church every Sunday, but they do believe in Jesus Christ and they do believe in God. You know, all this type of things. And our people live a life based off of the Christian philosophy. A lot of Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we live our life based off of the doctrine of devils. We live our life based off of Christianity. They teach women to be independent and they don't need a man. That is true, right? But let me go. It's a Catholic. They encourage abstinence. Okay, okay. I could probably be okay. Catholic. They encourage abstinence. I may get into that. All right. This is why the Catholic Church encouraged abstinence, right? Because they also believe that a man can only have one wife. Because they know that there's more sisters than men. In order for you to get a Catholic going man in the congregation, you would have to get a man that already has a wife. So now with that being said, I gave my answer away. Sisters believe that if this is what some sisters do. They do two things. If a brother has a woman, she won't talk to him. That's what that sister won't do. The Christian church forbidden her to marry because she believes because this man has a woman, she can't talk to him based off of her belief, based off of what she thinks, what God said, based off what she thinks Christ said. She didn't say, well, I believe a man can have more than one wife, but I prefer a man with one woman. But if he does get another woman, that's fine. She didn't say that. She's just going to say, you know what? Because he has a woman, I can't have him. That means I need to find a man that doesn't have a woman. And now she's single for the rest of her life. And then she just has sex with a bunch of deadbeats and a bunch of terrible brothers. And now she's a baby mama with 3 men, or 4, or 8, or 6. Who knows? The Christian church forbids our sisters to marry. She'll also do. She'll also tell you, okay, you have a woman, but in order for us to be together, you have to leave that woman to be with me. And she gives that brother an ultimatum. She forbids that's committing adultery. That's fore and foremost. But this is how the Christian church forbids our people to marry. They take a man's right away, right, from getting another woman for whatever the reason may be. You understand? And I want you to understand, give me the definition of emasculation. I want to not veer off too much, but give me the definition of emasculation. Okay, so the Christian church would call a woman a home wrecker. If you decide to get with a man that already has a wife, you're a home wrecker, when that was never the case. The Lord never said such a thing. Is that Merriam-Webster? Now it said, okay, emasculation. The sister says stripping a man of his masculinity. That's true, but let's find out what it is. That's part of it.
Emasculate. To deprive of strength.
So emasculation is to deprive of strength. I want everyone to understand how the Christian church emasculates a brother. I want you to understand how some of these sisters, no thanks to the Christian church and no thanks to Christianity, ends up emasculating these brothers. It says to deprive of strength. Go ahead.
Vigor or spirit.
So vigor or spirit. Go ahead.
Weaken.
Or weaken. This is how you emasculate a brother. Go ahead.
To deprive of virility or procreative power.
It said what?
To deprive of virility.
Fertility.
Fertility or procreative power.
Or castrate. So now another definition of emasculate is to deprive of fertility or to what?
Or procreative power.
Or procreative power. What does it mean to procreate? What does it mean to procreate, soldier?
To have kids.
To have what?
To have kids.
To have children. To have the ability to have children. Right, to make babies. Let me explain something to you. You need women to make children. All right? Right, to have babies. Right, to make children. That's correct. To have babies, to make babies, to have children. You need women to have these babies. You need women to have these children. Like the Lord did not make anything up just because of no goddamn reason at all. The reason why the reason why the female species is the most of that species, no matter what species it is because they are the ones that are going to create the children. They are the ones that give birth to the children. So you need a lot of these female species to make a lot of children in order to create a family and to create eventually a species, a nation of people, or whatever the case may be. And so now, emasculation by definition is to take away procreative power. So let me explain something to you. By you telling me I can't have another woman, you are emasculating me. Because now you are taking away my procreative power. As a brother and as a man, I have the procreative power to have 365 children a year. Hey brother, do me a solid. What's half of 36? What is that? 18? It's 30. The half of 36 is 18, right? So let's say there's 360 days of the year. At least, I, as a man, I have the procreative power to have 180 children a year. Some of y'all might think 360 something is far-fetched. No sweat. But for me, it is most definitely accomplishable to be able to have 180 children. You guys do understand that, right? That's very plausible. That's not impossible. You understand? It may not be full reality because of how we're living now, but it's very possible. Well, let me give you one better. That's reasonable. For sure, y'all can agree with this. I can have 30 children within 1 year. I can have 30 children within 1 year, for sure, as a brother, because that is my procreative power. Some of the Christian church doesn't realize, right, that you are taking away a man's procreative power and you're destroying Black, Hispanic, and Native American families by forbidding to marry. A man needs to be in the home. A man needs to be in the house. A man needs to understand the responsibility that he created when he had sex with this woman and the other woman. He has to understand that. He has to understand now, if I have sex with more than one woman, I now owe a responsibility to them. And if I do not hold on to the responsibility, I'm going to end up destroying my family, and I'm going to end up destroying my children, which would end up destroying the nation that I am a part of. And that's what's happening today. The reason why sisters are raising kids on their own, the reason why they got 5 to 6 to 9 different baby daddies, the reason why there's a bunch of baby mamas out there, the reason why our brothers are on child support is because we no longer care about the responsibility that comes through sex, which is marriage. We've been taught this monogamous lifestyle because Christ only said to be the husband of one wife when that's not what the Bible said. That's not what the Bible is talking about. That's not what that scripture is talking about or what it means. Now, because of so, there's a bunch of single sisters out there raising kids on their own and looking for Mr. Right. And the only qualities that Mr. Right has is he has no other woman. Y'all do understand that Mr. Right is only Mr. Right because he doesn't have any other woman, even though Mr. Right has another man. And Mr. Right was also going to have another sister, which is your daughter. You guys do understand that, right? Some of y'all may not realize it, but that's who Mr. Right is. Oh, as long as he's not with those other hoes out there, but he may not have hoes, but he does have a man. He may not have all these other hoes out here, but he is sleeping with your son. He is sleeping with your daughter. That's what he will do. Like, we don't get, the Lord set up this for a reason. This is what's going to prevent all the whoredom and all the whores that are throughout our community and neighborhoods. If there's going to be a man over every last one of them, and a man is laying fire to that tail and being an authority and a power and a leader over them to raise up those families that he created. That is one way to stop all the whoredom and all the whores doing all the things that they're doing now. The reason why your daughter out there is the best whore she can be is because of the Christian church and because of Christianity. The reason why the abortion rate is so high and abortions are at an all-time high because no one cares about family anymore. No one cares about the responsibilities that come through marriage. No thanks to the Christian church and no thanks to the family structure that the Lord wanted, and we decided to go outside of it. No one cares about having children anymore and being there for children to the point where they'll abort the child or they'll have the child and give it away. That's how destroyed our people have become due to the fact of Christianity and not understanding the core foundation in the structure of family. Go ahead and finish that scripture for me, y'all. So like your scripture I told you to give, we'll end with that.
Psalm 125 and 3.
127 and 3. Biblical shot.
Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord.
It said what?
Children are an heritage of the Lord.
Like, we have to understand one thing right here. Children are an inheritance to the Most High. Children come from the Lord. Just like marriage comes from the Lord. Just like being a husband comes from the Lord. Just like being a wife comes from the Lord. This might blow your mind. Just like sex comes from the Lord. You get the point. It said what?
Children are an heritage of the Lord.
The reason why children are an inheritance to the Lord, because you had to come together and have sex in order to create them. It's an inheritance unto the Lord. You had to desire a sister, or you had to desire a brother, and then you laid with that brother, and you laid with that sister, and now you have a child. You understand? Now you have children, whatever the case may be. The Lord said what?
Children are a heritage of the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
In the fruit of thy womb. It said what?
And the fruit of the womb is his
In
reward.
the fruit of thy womb is his reward. We don't realize by not teaching sex is marriage, by not teaching the importance of family and the responsibility that comes with having a wife, the responsibility that comes with being a husband, we believe the things that come with that sex does not matter. Children come with having sex. Children come with blowing that back out, legs in the air, Marvin Gaye, Temptations. Y'all get the point. Casey and JoJo, Blackstreet, Tony, New Edition. You get the point. Children come through that. And it said what?
And the fruit of the womb is his reward.
And the fruit of thy womb is his reward. Now, because of all of that, we don't care. Now, having a child isn't important. Now we no longer feel now we no longer have the obligation. We don't feel the obligation towards this child. Whatever growing in your womb, you no longer have a sense of obligation to this child because you had your legs in the air. You no longer have obligation to you now you no longer have an obligation to this child when you was blowing that sister's back out. Now because of the evil person you are, no thanks to the Christian church destroying the family structure, and no thanks to our oppressor destroying the family structure. Now as a brother, now you think you can tell that sister, well, you can just get an abortion. Or or I don't know if it's worse, but it's not worse, but just as bad. You are no longer in that sister's life to raise that child for whatever reason it may be. Because you no longer have a sense of responsibility. Now, it may just be for the reason that she keeps pushing you away because you decide to get another woman. It could be for that. All right? But now, with that being said, I'm not weak enough to allow a woman to push me out of my child's life. All right? You can push me away and not want to be with me because I decide to get another wife. That's fine. But you'll never be able to keep me away from my child. And you'll never be able to make me feel like I shouldn't be there for my child. Why? Because I owe a responsibility to him. What did the Lord say?
And the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Go ahead.
And arrows are in the hand of a mighty man. So are children of the youth.
And so are children of the youth. Because just like there's an arrow in what?
In the hand of a mighty man.
Because arrows are what? What are arrows to a mighty man? Anybody tell me what arrows are to a mighty man? What are arrows to a mighty man? Anyone online or in class? What are arrows to a mighty man? A mighty man would be a what? Like a warrior or a soldier. So this man uses an arrow, right? A bow and arrow, right? Let's say he has a bow, right? And in order to use that bow, he needs arrows. Okay, right? They are okay. A bow is a weapon to a mighty man. Why? Okay, so you guys are close. So now, why is that weapon important? Oh, Salakia. Goddamn. I gave the answer away, but I'm still going to ask the question. Why? Okay, so why is it the weapon? I gave it away. I gave it away. Salakia. Go ahead and answer the question, brother. What is a arrow to a mighty man?
Important.
It's important. A weapon is important to a soldier. Why is a weapon important to a soldier? Because you're useless without one. You are useless without this weapon. Who are you without this weapon? Nothing. You are literally responsible for having a weapon if you are a soldier. If you have sex with a woman and you have a child, you are responsible to have that child and be with that child. You're responsible just as far as much as a woman. So read that scripture one more time, soldier, from the arrow part.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
And so are children of the youth. They are important. They are needed. And yes, they can be used as weapons and tools. Why? Can they be used as in a good way? By building up a nation, by building up a society. But they're important. You are literally nothing without children. You're nothing without a child. And you can take that in any context. You are literally nothing without a child. What purpose do you have if you have no one under you? What purpose do you serve if you have nothing to take care of? You serve no purpose. And take that in any context. You have to be able to take care of something and have the responsibility of something to have a purpose. It could be a flower, it could be a tree, it could be a cow, it could be cattle, it could be a child, it could be your wife. There's a purpose for everything. Everybody gets the point? All right, everybody gets it. With that, I say shalom with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And we're not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any other Christian organization. And with that, I say shalom.